like you said, he produced 12 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. That last game was one of the worst quarterback games of the season, Los. You get outplayed by Baker Mayfield that severely. Like when you watch that game and you come out of it like, damn, Baker Mayfield is nice and that other guy sucks. That's not what you want. All right, Los. So we had some news in the NFL come out the other day. Nathaniel Hackett, the Broncos head coach, was fired in his first season after 15 games. I don't know
He
if
deserved. First of all, hold on. Before you go any further, that man deserved to be fired. You could go by Nathan, Nate, anything. You go by Nathaniel. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I gotta ask, do you think that them getting a new head coach will turn things around in Denver? Or are they toast? Because they gave Russell Wilson all that money. They're tied to him for a long time. I think until he's like 40 or 41 years old. And I mean, for them to be good, he's gonna have to turn it around. So do you think a new coach can get the best out of Russell Wilson?
All right. So this is kind of where I look at it. You bring in a new coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hackett was a new coach this year. Russell Wilson with his tenure. We've seen what he did with the Seahawks when he was an all-pro player, got a Super Bowl with them, went to numerous Super Bowls. Russell Wilson was no slouch, okay? So my thing is coming into a new organization, a new team, a $250 million contract, coming into all these things, I'm walking around like I'm that guy. And then Nathaniel Hackett is out there calling some BS. I'm changing the plays. We see worse quarterbacks do this on the weekly. So I don't know if Russell Wilson's kind of lost that swagger to him. But this falls on Russell Wilson to me. This don't fall on Hackett. You got a new coach. You got a franchise quarterback, 250 M's, and he has thrown 12 touchdowns on the season. Let me say it again. 12 pass touchdowns on the season, Jay. Russell Wilson. We would have never thought we'd see these numbers going into week 17 from him. 12 and 9. It sounds like a bad game for Tobias Harris. So at the end of the day, I can't put all the blame on Hackett. Russell Wilson kind of lost that swag. I don't know if he's just happy being with Sierra now. He's chilling, cooling it. I don't know if he's been bumping some future in the locker room, but I've been messing his head up. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this falls on Russell Wilson, bro. And is it fixable? Maybe, but that's the reason you brought him in. You got a great group of young core receivers, and you got a top 10 defense, bro. So I don't know, in essence, what more can be given to him to help him succeed.
Man, like you said, the Broncos, when you look at the numbers, defensively, they should not have been this bad. 4-11 for a defense that's that good is insane. But the offense was historically bad. And I don't know if I believe that Russell Wilson still has the game to turn it around. What made Russell Wilson was his ability to freelance, to make all these crazy plays, running around, doing things that were, off schedule, not under the play call. He would just run around for about 10 seconds and find somebody, kind of like how Kyler Murray would, but a little bit different. And he's getting older. I think that's the problem. He's getting older. He cannot do that same stuff he used to do. So if he's not going to be able to do that, I don't know if he's going to be able to turn things around. So it's going to take Russell Wilson buying into just being a completely different quarterback. So they're going to have to get the perfect coach to coach that type of football. He's going to have to be a play action guy, a quick throw guy. He's never been that guy. He's been I'm going to dance around for 10 seconds and find somebody open and make a crazy play. I think they're doomed, bro. I think they're doomed at this point because you tied basically your entire franchise. You thought you were getting a franchise quarterback. You gave him franchise quarterback money. And like you said, he produced 12 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. That last game was one of the worst quarterback games of the season, Los. You get outplayed by Baker Mayfield that severely. Like when you watch that game and you come out of it like, damn, Baker Mayfield is nice and that other guy sucks. That's not what you want. And you make
Hey, you was speaking all that slat on Baker Mayfield's name. You was speaking all that dirt on that man's name, Jay. And Deshaun Watson out there throwing less than 170 yards. Come on.
I will admit that I was partially wrong. That Baker Mayfield is still he's still an NFL caliber starting quarterback. I will give you that. Under the right coaching, he's an NFL caliber quarterback. But back to Russell Wilson, man. I think it's just a totality thing. I think that he's annoying. Like he annoys everybody on that team. It's clear. Like I know it sounds bad. And I don't want to be one of those guys that like calls him corny because there's guys that are corny. Being corny, there's nothing wrong with being corny, bro. But I think that for some reason he just rubs his teammates the wrong way. Like we don't see other quarterbacks, other franchise quarterbacks, especially making this type of money, getting yelled at by other players, getting talked about bad in the media. Like that just doesn't happen. Like for everything that Aaron Rodgers is, he's an asshole, he's whatever. But his teammates don't yell at him. They don't go out of their way to make him look like it's
No.
his fault. They went out of their way to be like, "Yo, Russell," like yell, like they are yelling at him. They are visibly upset when he misses throws. Like they're treating him like he's garbage. First of all, he's gonna have to win his locker room back over, and then it's gonna take just a different buy-in, because I think in Russell Wilson's head, I still think he thinks he's that guy, and you have to come to grips with the fact that, okay, just like Peyton Manning, when he got to Denver, Peyton Manning was used to being that guy, but when he won that last Super Bowl, he wasn't throwing the ball all around. He played a completely different game, so he bought in. It's going to take that type of buy-in from Russell Wilson to understand, like, I'm not what I used to be, and I'm got to figure out what I can do now. Like, what is my game now? Also, I think we do have to put a little bit of this blame on Nathaniel Hackett, simply because he clear like there's guys, bro, that are good coaches, and there's guys that are bad coaches. He wasn't cut out to be a head coach. He could be an offensive coordinator. We've seen him have success doing that, and not every dude is meant to be a head coach. He's clearly not one of those dudes. Like
I
when you
mean,
have
I
that
mean,
roster, you don't go 4-11. That roster,
no,
no.
I get that, but I mean, if you get another coach in there with a different demeanor, who's yelling and screaming and all up in their faces and stuff like that, I don't think that's good for Russell Wilson at this point in his career either. I think Russell Wilson has lost all confidence in himself. This football thing is he's looking at it like, I'm 50 M's a year. I can really only play one more year, and I wipe my hands with this. I'm out. I'm out. And that's the way it's looking like, bro. I mean, this is an all-time low career year for Russell Wilson. Um, and like you said, they have plenty of weapons. I think it's on Russell Wilson. I think that you bring in a new coach so you can let Russell Wilson train the coach on how he likes to play. That's the way I looked at it when they brought in a new coach. This coach is going to be able to come in. He doesn't have his own philosophy. He doesn't have his own schemes. None of that stuff ready. Yeah, he came from Green Bay, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson are completely different quarterbacks. So I think coming into it, they thought this would be a good, fresh slate for Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett to become that duo. It hasn't happened, but I don't know if it's any coach is going to be able to come in.
I think Sean Payton is always going to be a hot topic name. I think they're going to probably try to get him. It's going to be interesting to see if he can go there. And
I
if he
like
does, I
that.
think Sean Payton's one of those coaches that's a great offensive mind. I think he can figure something out with Russell Wilson to where they're not this bad. But I think the days of Russell Wilson being one of the top elite quarterbacks are done. The Seahawks fell into Geno Smith, and he's been outstanding compared to Russell Wilson. That is crazy. Who would have thought in
They
2022
they
that
tried to write him off.
it's wild, bro. So yeah, man. Y'all let us know in the comments, what do y'all think about this Denver Broncos situation? If they bring in a big time name like Sean Payton, can that change things for Russell Wilson, or do you think he's toast? Because he might be toast. It might be over for Russell Wilson. This next year is his last season to prove himself, bro. If he has any sort of backbone, he's gonna come back next year with
Hey,
something.
every quarterback in the league better hope Russell Wilson has a good year next year, because if they don't, that's the end of them big contracts. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
They
I
gonna
don't
be
know
like you.
about that.
They gonna be like, you want Lamar Jackson? You want 250 million? We just seen the Broncos give Russ 250 million, and he had 35 QBR, one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. So I think this is gonna mess up a lot of people's money for years to come.
Facts. So yeah, y'all let us know about what y'all think about this Denver Broncos situation. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video before you leave. We appreciate all the love y'all been showing us. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, all social media platforms. We got the YouTube shorts going for y'all. You see the gear my boy got on. If you want a hoodie, t-shirt, long sleeve, anything like that, let us know. Hey, but
Let
this
us
been
know,
another
man.
one. This been another one with your boys here over on SSN. We appreciate y'all tuning in with the Stoners, and just like that, we out.
Hey, we out.